Today we see nature of enzymes, classification, purification and kinetic assays, immobilized enzymes and their uses. In part 1, we have already studied nature of enzymes, purification and immobilized enzymes and their uses. Now in part 2, we will be learning classification of enzymes and enzyme kinetics. Enzyme classification. Even the simplest of organisms have hundreds of enzymes in living cell, catalyzing reactions that are crucial for life. A classification systems exist that categorizes all the known enzymes based on the general class of reaction that they catalyze. There are 6 groups described below. This pie chart shows the distribution of all the known enzymes. Number 1, oxidoreductases. Number 2, transferases. Number 3, hydrolases. Number 4, lysases. Number 5, isomerases. And number 6, ligases. It is clear that the most populous group is the hydrolases, followed by the oxidoreductase and transferase. The proportion of enzymes in the other groups is significantly less. Oxidoreductases. Oxidoreductases catalyze oxidation or reduction reactions where electrons are transferred from one molecule, that is the reactant, to another molecule, that is the oxidant. This can be shown as A negative plus B gives rise to A plus B negative, where A the reactant and the B the oxidant, and an electron has transferred from A to B. This process often requires cofactors such as NADPH. They are very important enzymes which are vital for many metabolic processes, particularly in aerobic and anaerobic respiration. For example, oxidoreductases can be found in glycolysis, the TCA cycle and oxidative phosphorylation. Here we will focus on alcohol dehydrogenase. This enzyme interconverts alcohol to either aldehydes or ketones. In order for this to occur, NAD+ is reduced to NADH. This is similar to the majority of dehydrogenase that use NADP+ or flavin such as FMN or FAD as the electron acceptor. This enzyme is crucial in breaking down alcohol, removing the toxicity which is so important for many animals. In many bacteria, yeast and plants, alcohol dehydrogenase catalyzes the reaction in the opposite direction. This is an important part of the fermentation process as it used to maintain a constant supply of NAD+ in these organisms which used up during glycolysis. Types of oxidoreductase. Hydroxylases add hydroxyl groups to a substrate. Oxidases. Intramolecular oxygen is the hydrogen or electron acceptor. Dehydrogenases oxidize a substrate by transferring one or more hydride ion, that is H negative. Peroxidases reduction of hydrogen peroxide and organic hydroperoxide. Oxygenases incorporate intramolecular oxygen into organic substrates. Reductases catalyze reduction. Transferases are enzymes that catalyze the movement of a functional group from one molecule to another. These functional groups are very diverse, can include phosphate, methyl and glycosyl groups. The basic reaction can be shown as AX plus B gives rise to A plus BX, where A the donor, B the acceptor and X the functional group. There are many transferase enzymes. Here, two subgroups will be focused on. Kinases. Kinases enzymes are involved in catalyzing the transfer of phosphate groups in a process called phosphorylation. They can act on a range of different molecules, for example, lipids, carbohydrates and nucleotides. This is often occurs to prime the molecule ready for different metabolic pathways. Protein kinases are extremely important as they are used extensively in signal transduction and in controlling complex processes within the cell. They are very diverse with more than 500 different kinases being identified in the human body alone. Deaminases. Another group of transferases are the deaminases, which catalyze the transfer an amine group. One of their roles is in the breakdown of amino acids after excess protein consumption. This reaction involves removing the amino group from the amino acid and then converting this to ammonia. The rest of the amino acid is then either oxidized for energy or recycled. Hydrolases. Hydrolase enzymes simply catalyze hydrolysis, the breaking of single bonds through the addition of water. There are a huge variety of hydrolases enzymes. For example, the digestive enzymes that are classified based on their target. Proteases or peptidases cleave peptide bonds between amino acids in order to break down proteins. Lipases break down lipids into fatty acids and glycerol by cleaving ester bonds. Nucleases cleave phosphodiester bonds between nucleotide subunits in nucleic acids. They are termed exo or endo depending on whether they cut. Endoenzymes cut in the middle of the chain, whereas exoenzymes cut at the end of the chain to release an individual monomer. Lyases catalyze lysis reactions that generate a double bond. These are a type of elimination reaction but are not hydrolytic or oxidative. The reverse reaction catalyzes an addition reaction where a substrate is added to a double bond. These are often referred to as a synthetase enzyme. An example of lyase reaction would be ATP gives rise to cyclic AMP plus PPI. Generally, one substrate is required in the forward direction, whereas two are needed for the backward reaction. Types of lyases: carboxylases add or remove carboxyl, that is COOH groups. Aldolases cleave an aldol. Dehydratases remove oxygen or hydrogen from organic substrates in the form of water. Example: oxalate decarboxylase catalyzes the chemical reaction oxalate plus H positive gives rise to formate plus carbon dioxide. This is an example of decarboxylase or a carboxylase, an enzyme that cleaves carbon-carbon bonds. It is involved glyoxylate and dicarboxylate metabolism. Isocitrate lyase. This enzyme is also involved in the glycoxylate cycle where it converts isocitrate to succinate. This is done through cleaving the glyoxylate group from isocitrate. It is technically an aldolase. As an aldol group in the form of glyoxylate is cleaved. Isomerases. Isomerases are enzymes that can catalyze structural changes within a molecule. There is only one substrate and one product with nothing gained or lost. So, they represent only a change in shape. Isomers have the same molecular formula but differ in their structural formula. These differences can change the chemical properties of the molecule. There are multiple classes of isomerases, for example, geometric, structural, enantiomers and stereoisomers. Types of isomerases. Racemases catalyze the inversion of stereoisomers around one carbon center of asymmetry. Epimerases catalyze the inversion of stereoisomers around two carbon centers of asymmetry. Isomerases catalyze the structural rearrangement of isomers. Example, alanine racemase. This enzyme converts the amino acid alanine between its two optical isomers. It is used in both alanine and aspartate metabolism, that is D-alanine converted to L-alanine. All amino acid can exist in these two forms except from glycine. The optical isomers are mirror images of each other, yet their prevalence in nature varies dramatically. The L isomer is far more common, though the D isomer amino acids do have some very important roles in biology. Glucose 6-phosphate isomerase. This enzyme catalyzes the conversion of glucose 6-phosphate to fructose 6-phosphate in the second step of glycolysis. Both glucose and fructose are 6-carbon sugars but with a different structural arrangement. So, this enzyme interconverts the sugar between its two forms. Ligases. Ligases are responsible for the catalysis of ligation, the joining of two substrates. Usually, chemical potential energy is required, so the reaction is coupled to the hydrolysis of a diphosphate bond in a nucleotide triphosphate such as ATP. Example, DNA ligase. A very important ligase enzyme which will be focused on here is DNA ligase. It catalyzes the ligation between the breaks in DNA by forming a phosphodiester bond. There are different forms of enzyme and they catalyze different breaks. That is, in mammals, there are 4 different types. For example, double strand breaks are repaired by DNA ligase 4, whereas DNA ligase 1 repairs single stranded breaks using the complementary strand as a template like in DNA replication of the lagging strand. The reaction requires ATP, yet in some bacterial species, the cofactor NAD has been shown to be a requirement. Enzyme kinetics. Kinetic information is useful for examining possible mechanisms for the reaction. This is true for all types of reactions. Kinetic principles are used to understand both catalyzed and non-catalyzed reactions. For enzymes, kinetic information is useful for understanding how metabolism is regulated and how it does occur under different conditions. It is useful for understanding pathological states. Diseases and disorders often involve alterations in enzymes or enzyme activities. Understanding the way that enzymes work is critical for understanding how drugs work, because most drugs function by interacting with enzymes. In addition, the more we know about an enzymatic reaction, the more information we have for designing new drugs. It is nearly impossible to understand biochemistry without understanding enzymes, and it is impossible to understand enzymes without understanding the kinetic principles of the reactions they mediate. Derivation of Michaelis-Menten equation. For many enzymes, the rate of catalysis, that is V, varies with the substrate concentration within a square bracket S in a manner shown in figure. At a fixed concentration of enzyme, that is V, is almost linearly proportional to within a square bracket S when within a square bracket S is small. At high within a square bracket S, V is nearly independent of within a square bracket S. In 1913, Leonard Michaelis and Mount Menten proposed a simple model to account for these kinetic characteristics. The critical feature in their treatment is that a specific ES complex is a necessary intermediate in catalysis. The model proposed, which is the simplest one that accounts for the kinetic properties of many enzymes, is an enzyme, that is E, combines with S to form an ES complex with a rate constant K1. The ES complex has two possible fates. It can dissociate to E and S with a rate constant K2, or it can produce to form product P with a rate constant K3. It is assumed that none of the product reverts to the initial substrate, a condition that holds in the initial stage of a reaction before the concentration of product is appreciable. We want an expression that relates the rate of catalysis to the concentrations of substrate and enzyme and the rates of the individual steps. The starting point is that the catalytic rate is equal to the product of the concentration of the ES complex and K3, that is the equation V is equal to K3 within a square bracket ES, that is equation number 2. Now we need to express ES in terms of known quantities. The rate of formation and the breakdown of ES are given by rate of formation of ES equals to K1 ES, that is equation 3. Rate of breakdown of ES equals to K2 plus K3 multiplied by ES, that is equation number 4. We are interested in the catalytic rate under steady state conditions. In a steady state, the concentrations of the intermediates stay the same while the concentrations of starting materials and products are changing. This occurs when the rates of formation and the breakdown of the ES complex are equal. On setting the right hand sides of equation 3 and 4 equals K1 ES equals to K2 plus K3 multiplied by ES, that is equation number 5. By rearranging equation 5, we get ES equals to K multiplied by S divided by K2 plus K3 divided by K1, that is equation number 6. Equation 6 can be simplified by defining new constants Km called the Michaelis constant and substituting it into equation 6, which then becomes. Now let us examine the numerator of equation 8. The concentration of uncombined substrate, that is S, is very nearly equal to the total substrate provided that the concentration of enzyme is much lower than that of the substrate. The concentration of uncombined enzyme, that is E, is equal to the total enzyme concentration, that is ET, minus the concentration of the ES complex, that is E equals to ET minus ES. This is an equation 9. On substituting this expression for E in equation 8, we get ES equals to ET minus ES multiplied by S divided by Km, equation number 10. Solving equation 10 for ES gives ES equals to ET S upon Km divided by 1 plus S upon Km, equation number 11. ES equals to ET S upon S plus Km, equation number 12. By substituting this expression for ES into equation 2, we get the maximal rate Vmax is attained when the enzyme sites are saturated with substrate, that is when S is much greater than Km, so that S upon S plus Km approaches 1. Thus, Vmax equals to K3 multiplied by ET, equation number 14. Substituting equation 14 into equation 13 yields the Michaelis-Menten equation. V is equal to, this equation accounts for the kinetic data given in figure. At low substrate concentration, when S is much less than Km, V is equal to S multiplied by Vmax upon Km, that is, the rate is directly proportional to the substrate concentration. At high substrate concentration, when S is much greater than Km, V is equal to Vmax, that is, the rate is maximal independent of substrate concentration. The meaning of Km is evident from equation 15. When S equals to Km, then V equals to Vmax by 2. Thus, Km is equal to the substrate concentration at which the reaction rate is half of its maximum value. The Michaelis-Menten equation is applicable to most enzymes and is critically important to understanding enzyme action in biological systems. At least for simple systems, the Michaelis-Menten equation describes the way that the reaction velocity depends on the substrate concentration. The parameters Km and Vmax cannot be determined from a single measurement. Instead, they must be determined by measuring velocity at a variety of S. The Michaelis-Menten equation has two parameters, Vmax and Km. Vmax equal to Kcat E total and therefore is a function of both the total enzyme concentration and of the catalytic rate constant of the enzyme for the reaction. Kcat is an intrinsic property of an enzyme while Vmax is not. Km is an intrinsic property of an enzyme. It is measure of the affinity of the enzyme for the substrate. Biological systems often vary velocity by altering Vmax, that is either by increasing or decreasing the amount of enzyme present. Km is a sensitive measure of changes in the enzyme, that is either modifications of one enzyme or the presence of more than one isozyme. The Michaelis-Menten equation is somewhat difficult to analyze directly. One simple method for determining Vmax and Km from a set of velocity versus substrate data is to use the double reciprocal, that is Lian-Weaver-Burk plot, a linear transformation of the Michaelis-Menten equation. A second method, which is generally preferable, is to use non-linear regression techniques to directly fit experimental data to the Michaelis-Menten equation. All biochemists need to be able to interpret the information presented in the Lian-Weaver-Burk plot and to understand the implications of Kcat, Vmax and Km. Summary: even the simplest of organisms have hundreds of enzymes in every living cell, catalyzing reactions that are crucial for life. A classification system exists that categorizes all the known enzymes based on the general class of reaction that they catalyze. There are 6 groups: oxidoreductases, transferases, hydrolases, lyases, isomerases and ligases. Kinetic information is useful to examine possible mechanisms for the reaction. The Michaelis-Menten equation is applicable to most enzymes and is critically important to understanding enzyme action in biological systems. At least for simple systems, the Michaelis-Menten equation describes the way that the reaction velocity depends on the substrate concentration. Thank you.